Hello, my name is James, and I'm going to be discussing the reaction I took to the article on the Narsarima tribe. So my first initial reaction when reading this article was pretty shocking. I mean, this is definitely a culture where tons of people are constantly, you know, looking at these people and thinking they are perfection. Okay, this is what I need to strive to be. I do not know how they've survived this long the way they were living. Um, some crazy parts to me that I took away was that essentially they were paying to be tormented. Um, Poisoned, beat, all that kind of stuff. Like they would pay for this stuff. And it didn't always cure them of the cleansing that they needed. They believed that being their sinful nature was something that was there and that they had to go to these certain people to be cleansed of it. And they would have to pay for these cleansings. Um, so sometimes, even after they would go through these several stages of cleansing, which is, being abused, sometimes they wouldn't even let them finish the cleansing or ritual because they wouldn't have enough payment at the end of all that torment. So they could go through the whole process except the last part and they wouldn't finish it because they didn't have enough. And that's really wild to me. I think that it reminds me of what we see in our culture here today, that we as Americans typically will have blind faith for things, whether it's money, job, success, fame, whatever it may be. Like, we find these things and we idolize them. We make them our gods, if you will, our idols. And, not asking these questions as to why or the what can really have an impact on how we view our world. So I want to get into now the talk about, as strange as it may sound, football, because that is something I feel like everybody in America idolizes. It's a ritual that, like, every Sunday we turn on our TVs, we look at, who's playing who. Our heroes and our idols are all athletes. We praise these people in the world. And I think that a lot of times we associate this as perfection instead of, are they good people? Are they doing the right things? Are they, being people we should admire? And it's kind of weird that we take these people that may not be that way and we idolize them because it seems ridiculous to put our value in something so existential. But, I think a lot of cultures probably think this is weird that we have so much faith and so much emphasis on this type of ritual. The pattern I would talk about for this ritual specifically, I would not necessarily, it's changed a whole lot. However, I would say the most unique adaptation to this ritual has been obviously the TV in commercializing football. So many people spend time, they separate time out of their day to go watch football. They separate time out of their day to not be with other people. Like, I get it, it's more convenient, it's more easy, but we're losing that face-to-face contact. We're losing that sense of community with our fellow, neighbors, friends, family, like all that kind of stuff. And I think that's why we've adapted that way, is because we're a culture of convenience and ease instead of a culture of, instead of a culture of love. So I think these changes are detrimental because, we do not want to do life with one another. We forget that other people in our lives deserve to be spending time with, and so many times we hear people of stories like, I'm not close with my family, I'm not close with my friends, like I don't really have anybody. Well, what is the cause of that? What are we doing to fix that? Like, we have these things in our phones, screen time, right? They tell us how much time we're spent on our phones. What if we spent that time, or at least a portion of it, using it to go help somebody, or go meet up for coffee with a friend, or go and visit your family for dinner? Like, all these things are ways we can show that we shouldn't value so much technology. Technology is definitely one of the reasons why, you know, we don't spend as much time together. So that was kind of my take on, you know, the article, and my take on how, you know, we as Americans, you know, we can sit back and judge the Narsema all we want for being weird about that, but we ourselves do the same exact thing. We do the same thing, just seemingly with something less like extreme. So, yeah, thank you.